What is up? We're back, and yes, you see it. Somehow, some way, the Dallas Cowboys are going to defeat the Philadelphia Eagles with 5 field goals, it looks like. Somehow, some way, the Eagles got Brian Westbrook back too, and they just couldn't finish the job. They just aren't clutch, I guess. So Donovan McNabb choking is why we are in the playoffs. And we drew the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had made the playoffs in 2008, maybe John Gruden doesn't get fired. Maybe, I'm just saying. Here's how we stack up against them. We're the top scoring offense. Now I'm just going to go through our stats, and then I'm going to compare our stats and go around the league, show you guys how everybody else did this year. See who was the top of their stat crew. Now, getting Derek Ward involved in the rush game didn't work as much as I wanted it to. Not even close. But we got him involved in the pass game, and we found a little rhythm. And I'm okay with that. I want to get Derek Ward a little more involved, running the football. But, throwing the ball seemed to be our MO. Eli was throwing the ball like nobody's business. Eli Manning put up some stats this year. 4,500 yards. I believe it was like 39 touchdowns against 16 picks. I mean, we want to lower the picks, but hey, neither here nor there. Eli Manning put up some stats, put some respect on his name. Strahan led the team with sacks with 7. We need more sacks, honestly, from our defense. It's not good. Sam Madison had 6 picks. Aaron Ross had 4. Dante Whitner had 3. John Carney, he's going to retire. So is Jeff Fiegels. These guys are both in their mid-40s at this point in their career. These guys are both retiring after this year. But we got Lawrence Tynes at kicker, so hopefully we'll be okay there. Returner, we got R.W. McCorders and Hickson and Sonoris Moss and those guys. We'll figure that out in the future. But anyway, here's how the stats went. Brady was right up there with Eli Manning. No surprise there. Eli with the most touchdowns. Brady right behind him. There's Peyton, Mark Bulger, Hasselback, Todd Collins with 25 touchdowns. Okay, Todd Collins. I mean, he threw quite a few of them against us, Defense should be ashamed of themselves. Trent Edwards, 25 picks. Jamarcus Russell, 23. Aaron Rodgers threw 22, and the Packers still went 12-4. That is crazy. But yeah, crazy stats happen. Yep, Rivers, Brady, Manning out of the AFC. That's not surprising. Roethlisberger didn't even make it into the conversation, which is a little surprising. Trent Edwards and Vince Young and Kellen Clemens, the most sacked quarterbacks. That's crazy. Larry Johnson, Portis, Reggie Bush. We didn't have a 2,000-yard rusher, but Portis, Johnson, and Bush got pretty close. And yeah, every team had an 1,000-yard rusher in some capacity, except for the Falcons and the Jaguars. And the Falcons, Michael Turner got hurt, and he missed a lot of weeks. And the Jaguars, Fred Taylor and Maurice Jones-Drew were both hurt at separate times. Vince Young has 9.5 yards per carry, but that's because he's a quarterback. Put him in the running back position and see how he can run. He won't have that yards per carry average. I mean, as a quarterback, you're lucky because you can choose when you want to run. So, yeah, receiving looks pretty good. Plaxico, top of the league with yards. Marvin Harrison, Braylon Edwards, Welker, Bobby Ingram, TJ Hushmanzada, Randy Moss. Manningham had an 1,000-yard season. He's fighting with Darren McFadden for Rookie of the Year. Plaxico with 20 touchdowns. Marvin Harrison with 16. Santana and Randy Moss had 11 apiece. And going back to the rushing thing, I'm surprised Brandon Jacobs doesn't get into the Pro Bowl with 22 rushing touchdowns. I mean, he's getting in the end zone. That's one of the big things I look for when I'm judging who is and isn't a good football player on offense, particularly. Defense, it's do you make the defense better? Like these guys getting a lot of tackles. John Beason had a lot of tackles, I see, so he's really holding it down. TFL's Antonio Pierce, T. Sizzle, and Bertrand Berry with 17 sacks. Mario Williams is up there too. Same with Thomas Howard and Patrick Willis. Thomas Howard, man, that was one of our guys, man, with the Madden 09 Colts franchise. So shout out him for doing his thing. And honestly, that's what I'm going to do. If I see guys from our Madden 09 Colts franchise balling out, doing their thing, I'm going to respect them. Like Champ Bailey doing his thing. You know what? I should have gone through the Pro Bowl candidates now, but I'm going to do that in the following video. After the wild card playoff game, I'll do it in the following one because, we already got a lot of stuff we're going through now. As you can see, the other defensive stats, Carlos Rogers with 2 touchdowns, McAllister, Vrabel, Greg Ellis too, Brandon Flowers. I believe he was a rookie in this season too. Janikowski is the AFC kicker, Pro Bowler for now. I mean, sometimes it's subject to change. They can change the roster before the Super Bowl. And then forget who the NFC punter is. My bad. Yeah, Podlesh. He's leading the league with the punt average, and he actually got released by the Jaguars during this season, and the Vikings picked him up, believe it or not. Donnie Avery holding it down with kick returns. Kason and Miles Austin with a punt return or kick return touchdown each. Deshaun Jackson has the biggest punt return average. Antoine Randall took 3 of them back. That's crazy. That is crazy. So, yeah, interesting stuff, man. Not too many surprises there with the stats. So here's the Buccaneers looking at us. They said Jeff Garcia should be able to deal with our secondary. I mean, yeah. Eli Manning scares me. Yeah, he should. We need to keep a body on Michael Strahan at all times. Let's get him exhausted. Okay, so let's see how that works out. Maybe I'll rotate Justin Tuck in. You know, he hasn't been getting enough PT, and that's on me. Here's us. We got double Joey Galloway, they said. Keep Derek Brooks busy, run right at him, forcing him to make plays. Yeah, definitely don't want to throw towards him. I'm more worried about throwing towards him. Jermaine Phillips, not really scared of him. We'll run right at him, too. We got Brandon Jacobs, and Brandon Jacobs will bowl that guy over, you would think. So here's Tampa's roster. Warwick Dunn is actually starting at running back, the veteran, and Carnell Williams and Ernest Graham aren't. So they got some veterans leading the way at receiver, Joey Galloway, Ike Hilliard. They got Alex Smith, the tight end, and Jeremy Stevens. Jeremy Stevens is their starter. They got a decent offensive line, Davin Joseph. There's Zuda. We had Jeremy Zuda on our Colts franchise. He's a rookie in this game. Gaines Adams, rest in peace, Gaines Adams. He had a lot of potential at defensive end. Just unfortunately passed away before he could really fulfill it. Cato June, Quincy Black, Barrett Rude, Derek Brooks. And Cato June is the Pro Bowler. Rondé Barber, Phillip Buchanan, a rookie, Aqib Talib, Tenard Jackson, Jermaine Phillips. So they got some guys on this team. I mean, they got a pretty solid team.